Hello, good morning, and welcome to Celebrate Our Similarities. I hope you can hear us okay. We do have a few technical problems, so apologies if this is a bit um, not too straightforward. But welcome to Celebrate Our Similarities first COP26 initiative to look at how we can bring about change by thinking about our individual ideas and actions and commitments to how we may reduce the carbon footprint. Um, First of all, I would like to say that we do have a few technical problems, and I can't put on some of the videos that we had planned on putting right now. But what we will try to organize right now is um, to just give an overview of what cause is and what we want to do. So um, we are CIC, which is a non-profit community interest company, and our ambitions are to create a grassroots type of action which looks at human priorities and how we as humans share basic human priorities such as food, water, air, well-being, equality, good sleep, you know, mental health, all of those things that keep us grounded. And we have two themes under which we recognize all those subjects, which is personal peace and climate change. And within those two contexts, we've identified Leicester, which is where we're based, as a um, international significance that Leicester holds, which is to recognize that we are the most diversely populated city in the UK, as per the census 2011. And we're also got the United Nations naming our local university as the international hub for Goal 16, which is peace, justice, and strong institutions. So we think that as a city, we can do some amazing things if we come together with all the different communities that live in our city. So we say we've got a microcosm of the world's community living here. If we identify good practice examples, which is what we aim to do in the areas that we've mentioned, we can actually make social change happen. And this is our ambition. We have just started. We are, we have been the idea has been there since 2010, but we've only just registered and taken the work forward. So today's event really is just a starting point. And our intention is that we will try and encourage you to bring forward your ideas about what it means to have, make an impact in your own personal carbon footprint. So, one example that I always give is that, if we're different communities, we can maybe look at our own actions and our daily lives in the way that we can make change happen. So, from my own point of view, I found that Asian women, or generally many people, pick okras, and this traditional or the old-fashioned way of doing it is to snap the end off and to check its freshness. And what I'd like to do is to just bring forward that, just as an example, an idea about considering what impact just that little bit of thought is put into that. Then to bring it out is to say that, well, that okra, which grows in some faraway hot place, where a farmer, works, intensively to creates their crop, who then gets a fairly relatively small wage, after which you have a number of different sets of middle people and companies that bring the okra all the way over to Leicester, say, either through freight carriers on ships or aeroplanes, and the carbon footprint related to that is huge. And then you have wholesalers going to buy it in the middle of the night as soon as it arrives, in order to keep the crop fresh as possible, to get it to the shoppers. Then you have the shopkeepers coming and collecting it from the wholesalers at 5 o'clock in the morning, in order that they can then return back to their shop and put it in the front of their shop for 9 o'clock. And then, the shoppers come in and snap the okra at the end. Now, if it doesn't snap, it splits. And if it splits, or if it doesn't snap at all, people don't take it. And that's wasted, because nobody else is going to take it either. But it is perfectly okay to cook it, or accept that some okra may not be good, but considering the amount of effort that's gone into growing it, and what the earth has given us, is it right that we then make that effort to bring it all the way, but then it goes in, is wasted? So there's food waste, there's carbon footprint, and then there is the idea that by having less of that crop reaching the shopper, the farmer will end up having to make more to make the same amount of money, because at the end of the day, inflation increases, but the prices for all the middle people continues to rise, and our need for more fresher crop continues. So in the end, we're all losing out, but particularly because of carbon footprint issue, which is the current emergency that we do need to look at. So it's just an example, and it's just giving an idea of how we can communicate with different communities about what it means to have a carbon footprint, and then to look at individuals coming up with ideas that they see on the ground on a day-to-day basis, and how we can make change happen on a personal level, which then will create new habits in younger people, who will then have a more conscious approach to life, and obviously reduce the carbon footprint. So that, because the idea of having 1.5 degree increase in the world temperature is going to mean that whatever habit changes and the reductions that we do create in our life through our changes in our lifestyle, they will have to be maintained in order to continue keeping it at that level. We as consumers, particularly since industrialization, we are going to have to face these issues about, is it right that we are traveling so much? Is it right that we have ideas about, having a whole wardrobe of clothes and then replace the whole lot every few years? Is it right to, continually have brand new cars when, the volume of traffic on the road is so increasing so fast? Is it right that we use up resources? Every time a new idea comes up, it requires the Earth's resources. and how do we create a situation where we will reduce the amount of resources and let the earth heal through our actions rather than actually using up the resources. So unfortunately, we're not able to get the videos that we had planned to transfer at this point in time. And I can't get anybody else to actually, show up either on, so I'm on my own and without any material. But what I would like to share at the moment, and I probably will finish at 10:15 as a result of that, because our idea is to particularly look at ensuring that, practical examples are logged, registered, and shared. So our ambition is that in Leicester, we will be going out to different communities to share these ideas over time. But one recent thing that I came across, which I feel is worth sort of understanding, is that the task ahead is not as straightforward or even as clear about how we're going to change. So, for example, I just recently read something where they were saying that Total Energies, an oil company, was aware that its scientific research of the link between fossil fuels and rising global temperatures was 50 years ago, but it worked with other oil companies to play down the risks for at least 3 decades. This is according to the internal company documents and interviews with former executives, which have been published by the peer-reviewed journal, The Global Environmental Change. Now, if we've had that, obviously we know that there are so many major players who do have to unravel all of these issues. But we also have, as consumers, power to change, power to make our choices and make that change happen through what we choose to spend our money on. So on that note, I'm just going to leave that for today, for this session. We will try and organize so that this evening session is a little bit more smoother. And we hope to see you then. Thank you very much. Thank you.